What's good, y'all? It's your boy Just Chris, and today we got a video from It's Complicated channel. The title is called Bros Before Hoe. Now, before we get into the video, make sure you got yourself some water. Not only so you can stay hydrated during my videos, but so you can take... damn. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Just Chris, and today we got a video from It's Complicated channel. The link to their channel will be in the description box below. Make sure you go tell them that the Masculinity Gang is here. Alright, now before we get into the video, make sure you got yourself some water. Not only so you can stay hydrated during my videos, but so you can take your daily RP. And fellas, make sure you have your masculinity badge equipped, alright? It's obvious that It's Complicated channel has your masculinity badge equipped, you know what I'm saying? And I love to see it. Welcome to the game. Now let's go ahead and get into the video. Got me some trail mix.
What is the best and the worst thing about being a woman?
Well, we control the world. That's the best thing. The worst thing,
Real quick, if women control the world, why do so many people think it is a man's world?
you know, we're sneaky and we're manipulative, and we know how to control it without them knowing that we're controlling it. So, we'll just let them have their day, and we'll do it our way.
The number one thing I don't understand about women is why they are so confusing in the sense of talking to guys and then not talking to guys and leading them on, but then only liking the bad guys when the good guys are just there trying to be nice, you know. But meanwhile, they're only looking for the bad boy sort of to hurt them in the long run.
Wow, that sounds complicated.
It is complicated.
I would say the worst thing is that men don't always appreciate or respect us the way we should be respected, and we have this complex emotional and intellectual understanding of life, and we can do many things at the same time, and men don't appreciate and utilize that enough. They think that they can do it all, but that really they're very centered and focused on one thing, and we can focus on many a thing at a time. So
Okay, and from the woman's perspective,
more like focusing on many D's at the time. Okay, listen, everything which just said is cap. Men have been appreciating women ever since the beginning of time. Okay, we show our appreciation in different ways. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men have been simping for decades. Men have been sipping for decades. We have put you on a pedestal. We have given you guys everything. We have provided for you guys for multiple years, for decades. You know what I'm saying? All y'all had to do was take care of the house. You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't want to do that. So y'all want to be liberated. We let y'all do that. You know, we have been backing women. We have been taking care of the single moms, the government, all that. So for you to say that men don't care about women, we don't value women, that right there is a fallacy, and that is a lie. So stop the cap.
what do you think would be the best and worst thing about being a man?
best and worst thing. Well, best thing, you can go like this and it's a little fun, right? You're just like wiggle and it's like, hey. Worst thing is that there's a lot of expectation with men about being strong and running the household and doing a bunch of things where they are expected to be the money maker and everything like that. And I think that roles have been reversed over the years. And I think it's okay for a man not to
Exactly,
be
Cortez.
the person who's the provider and maybe the stay-at-home dad. Like, I feel like the roles need to be eliminated. I don't think that that's fair.
No, you see, this is where modern relationships and modern dating has a limit, because once you take out roles out of a relationship, nothing will ever get done. If the wife doesn't take care of the kids at home, doesn't take care of the household chores, the kids aren't going to be fed, the kids aren't going to be bathed, and they're not going to be hygienic. If the man doesn't go to work, you know, there's not going to be any house, there's not going to be anything, no food, no water, no basic necessities to live. You need to have roles in society. You need to have roles in relationships. Without any roles, there's no type of identity. You don't know what to do. You don't know what your purpose is in a relationship. They think having roles in a relationship is controlling. Oh, it's misogynistic. It's toxic masculinity. Why should I have to clean and take care of the household and take care of the kids? Like, why can't I just go work and like, why can't we just help each? No, I'm too busy at work trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay the bills, trying to help these crazy people at the job. I need to be focused on this one thing. Are you focused on the kids in the household? That's why modern day relationships don't work. That's why modern day relationship doesn't work. And you see she got this big ring on her finger. I feel bad for the husband. Because you know the husband isn't leading her. She's the leader in the relationship. He does whatever she says. That's what type of society we live in, fellas. If you delete roles in a relationship, your relationship is not going to be successful. It just will not.
And men should be able to take on that role proudly.
Well, in other words, I asked women, like, why is it that we've changed everything where it concerns women while men are still expected to play by the same old-fashioned gender roles?
You know what? I think that we're progressive and everything's changing frequently, and I think that
oh my God, man, I can't.
We're going to be a lot more open-minded going forward. I think that that's something that is changing right now as we speak. I don't think that gender roles and any of that responsibility is going to be there in 10, 20 years from now.
Who is better at communication, men or women?
Men for sure.
Okay, a lot of women think women are better at communication. My question is, why do women expect men to read their body language if men are worse at communication?
Because women are confusing and it's complicated.
Okay.
I would say that women are better at explaining how they feel and men just don't speak about it. So like men might not be better at communicating their feelings, but I do think men are more blunt about how they feel about things. Like if they feel something and they say it, that's it. Like that's all they mean. We have a more complicated understanding of what our emotions are, so we don't say exactly what we mean, and we expect you to believe or understand exactly what we're saying at all times.
Yeah, we know. Y'all expect us to know, like if you look at a man that you're attracted to, you expect that man to go over there and approach you when you didn't open your mouth. You just used your body language. And then you expect us to say, to ask you a question when you say, like, when we ask you, like, are you okay? You say, I'm fine. Then you expect us to do more digging to see if you're actually fine. That's all mind game. You know what I'm saying? Like chat, this is freaking insane. Like you cannot make this up. But yeah, chat, like this is what we have to deal with. This is modern woman in a nutshell. They expect you gotta learn womanese. If you don't know womanese, you're gonna be confused, bro.
Why do women prefer to send subtle hints rather than just be direct?
Out of scaredness, nervousness.
Women are always scared.
They're scared to get rejected, fellas.
Scared, you think?
We don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
I don't think.
know what the reaction's gonna be, and most of the time we feel like it's their fault, but they probably think it's ours.
But don't you think that men are also scared? I mean, men are obviously afraid of rejection a lot of times, right?
Yes, but I think that the what's the word?
Well, okay, here's
they're expected, like by society, to be more bold.
Well, here's a better question. Why are men expected to overcome their fear of rejection, but women can't seem to overcome their fear of spiders and cockroaches?
That's a good question.
I hate spiders.
I guess because I don't know. I feel like society expects actually a lot more out of men to be more direct than women.
No
Okay,
shit.
that's
No
fine.
shit.
What does it mean when girls talk about having a hoe phase?
Oh. Hoe phase is basically when they are with a new guy every week, or they're talking to a lot of guys at one time. And just like how we talked about the process and the chase, that most guys get stuck in the chase because the women are just in their hoe phase. I'm in college right now. I don't know when the hoe phase ends. It's kind of annoying because every girl I talk to is just in the hoe phase. Are all women hoes? It's complicated.
Do you think it's harder for a man to control his desires or for a woman to control her emotions?
Oh, I think it's harder for a woman to control her emotions, to be honest. We crazy bitches.
Okay, so is it more acceptable for women to be emotionally irresponsible than it is acceptable for men to sleep around?
Of course it
No.
is.
I mean, women sleep around too, so it really depends. If they're with somebody and they're sleeping around, that's another story. But like, I feel like that stereotype can go either way. So
Why are women who sleep around seen as sluts while men who sleep around are seen as studs?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that it's sort of changing in the sense that women sort of...
You know why, chat? Excuse me, I'm eating my trail mix. It's because it's harder for a man to get sex than it is for a woman. A woman can walk outside and say, hey, I want to have sex. And a man will be, okay. Fellas, it's so easy for a woman to get sex nowadays. And this is what it is. There's too many thirsty beta male simp men genres out there that are willing to give any woman, no matter how ugly she is, no matter how overweight she is, sex. It is what it is. That's why.
Have the advantage now, because I think, you know, I'm a college student. I think that women, although the men think the women are sluts, it's sort of like the men and the bros know that we can go all around. We can get with any woman we want and enjoy it. But if we don't want to know that guys are in other women, if that makes sense. Okay. So if a guy's in a lot of other women that we're talking to, we're not going to get with her. So it's just something you don't like to think about.
Would you agree that it's because men have to put in more effort towards acquiring sex?
Facts.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. If women were not slut-shamed or actually celebrated for being a slut, would they still play hard to get?
No, I don't think they would. I don't think they would play hard to get at all, because that's sort of like they like that part of the chase. As we, you know, they like to string people along like that.
Why is it okay for women to paint men with a broad brush as something to be feared, but if men did the same thing to women, it would be considered sexist?
That's a good question, and I think that honestly this world is a little bit sexist in that department, but I don't have an answer for that.
Okay. Does a woman's behavior play any role in how she's treated by men?
Yes.
Depends. It's like to an extreme, yes, but not in general, no.
So women aren't held accountable at all, or?
I think they should be. I don't think they are as much as men are.
Okay, well, why are people so quick to blame the man when things go south in their relationship?
That's a good question.
Didn't even think about that.
I think because society also thinks that men usually do the wrong when, just because women are a lot more emotional, so what they say to people and stuff is a lot.
And women twist the story.
Is a little dramatic.
They always do.
If a woman is being more mean to a guy, or you know, more verbally like aggressive in a sense, that means that the man is probably gonna give more to her, sort of be a simp as they call it. So I think the way the woman treats a man definitely has effect on what the man does for her.
Okay, but then why are people so quick to blame the man when things go south in their relationship?
Because the man's always a scapegoat. The woman can't do anything wrong. It's just like cancel culture in that sense.
Do you think there's more of a mutual brotherhood between men or a mutual sisterhood between women?
Sisterhood between women. I think just because they tell each other everything. Boys are more to themselves.
Yeah, they're more closed off.
I mean, our society is always promoting and empowering women. Where do you see our society empowering men?
You don't as
often,
much as you should.
Which should be.
I'd say brotherhood for sure. I mean, I'm a man, so I'm just going to lean that way. And I think the bros can get together and have the Saturdays for the boys, and women don't do that. They just always want to get in the men's business and be with the man.
Yep.
Our society is always promoting and empowering women. Where do you see our society empowering men?
I never do. And I think that's fucked up. I really do. I think, you know, and don't get me wrong, like, we're in Women's Month right now. I think they should be celebrated, but we don't have a Men's Month, and I think that needs to change.
You sure don't. And you know what? You know what? I believe we do. I don't know if we do, but I know we have International Men's Day, but nobody knows about International Men's Day. Most women don't know that a lot of, like 75% of men commit suicide. Most women don't know that a lot of men die on the job. A lot of men are depressed. There's a lot of men that they don't know their worth anymore. They think their worth is inside of a woman. They think their worth is about how many women I can get, how many women I can have sex with. That's not your worth, fellas. Most men are trying to be men, but then they get shamed for being a man. They get called toxic. They get called misogynistic. And then when they have standards and principles and say, okay, well, maybe I don't want to date a fat woman. Maybe I don't want to date a woman taller than me. Maybe I don't want to date a woman that's a bum. They get shamed. Like what more can a man do? A man can't even be a man. So of course he's gonna feel depressed. He's gonna feel lonely. He's gonna feel lost. That's why channels like me and other channels in the manosphere that talk about masculinity first, men first, are very important in a young man's life. Because if he doesn't know any better, he won't do better.
Are beautiful women more privileged or disadvantaged by their looks?
Both. Depends in
There's definitely disadvantages, but if the privileges did not outweigh the disadvantages, why would any woman ever bother getting plastic surgery?
Yeah, that's true. I think if someone felt like they weren't as pretty, they would be like, they don't know what that experience is like until it happens to them, so they wouldn't know what the disadvantages would be, I guess. And then disadvantages would just be anything bad happening to a woman, like in public.
And why is there so much talk in our society about things like male privilege, white privilege, but we don't talk about beauty privilege?
I think
just the way society bases their like most importance, like there's a bunch of like white privilege and like other race privileges that are going around right now. It's not like seen as much.
Yeah, it's not a top priority.
Why isn't there equity for ugly people? Shouldn't the government provide them plastic surgery?
I don't think so. I think that's a personal thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's ugly people. I think that there's people who maybe like don't understand the beautiful aspects of themselves, and I think that if they highlight those aspects, then they'll be as confident as anybody else.
Finally, I'll say, can you think of any female role models who aren't actual models?
I think there's a lot of Instagram influencers that are not really models. They just put like their feed on Instagram. And TikTokers, like they're not usually models. I think that a lot of them would be one of the biggest role models, and they're not known as being models.
Right, and would you say that being beautiful is a prerequisite to being influential?
No.
What?
Depends.
No. If that wasn't the case, if the answer was truly no, then you wouldn't have IG models over here with fake up on, all kinds of plastic surgery, fake boobs, fake butt, fake face, fake nose, fake everything, having millions of followers. Being beautiful is a privilege, especially if you're a woman. A man being handsome and stuff like that, you don't have as many privileges as a beautiful woman. A beautiful woman can get a job over an ugly woman or an ugly man. A beautiful woman, being a beautiful woman opens so many doors for you. You can get attention from high value men. You get attention for simps. You can go on OnlyFans and start an OnlyFans account and just sell pictures of your face. That's it. You can just cosplay. Being beautiful opens a lot of doors for women, and them not seeing that, them not seeing how influential you can be by just showing your body and just being a beautiful woman, that is crazy, bro. That just shows you how delusional they are, bro. These 304s on here running a sisterhood 24/7, exactly. A sisterhood where they don't hold nobody accountable in the sisterhood. That's why there's no growth. There's not a lot of growth in these women. They act like children. I'm sorry to say it, they act like children. They don't want to grow. They don't want to hold themselves accountable. They want to cry when they don't get their way. That's what children do.
It depends, but I think that you can still make it either way.
I feel like it shouldn't be, but it is in somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's often said life isn't fair. Who is more likely to be expected to accept injustice, men or women?
Men.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say women here because I think that they've sort of had the short end of the stick all their lives, if that makes sense. Men obviously get paid higher than women in some cases, so they sort of have the short end of the stick when it comes to injustice and things like that. They can accept it a little bit easier. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying they've been used to it, sort of thing.
Well, if the answer is not men, why do we have the expression "take it like a man"?
That's a good question as well. I think take it like a man. That just goes back to the old days when you know, the men were working hard. You get hit with a baseball, like, oh, take it like a man, grow up, don't cry. So that's always been something that has been around for such a long time.
Statistically, men are physically stronger, work harder, and longer than women. Why would there even be a question, let alone an argument, about equal gender pay?
I think that, to me, it depends on what the job is. If it's, I mean, labor work, it just depends on, like, who's doing the most. I mean, there's no telling. If, like, I mean, some females can be stronger than men, but it all depends on, I think, the person and how much they're personally doing.
I don't think a pay should be based off of a gender. It should be based off the work and how much they do and how much effort they put in.
Okay. So based on productivity, basically.
Yes.
Productivity. Okay. All right. You can disagree with me or not, but statistically, men are stronger, work harder, and longer than women. Why would there even be a question, let alone an argument, about equal gender pay?
Jeez. Why would there? Well, okay. I think there deserves to be a question for equal pay because. Okay. All right.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Bro, get out the way.
Okay, all right. Yes, sir.
Hey, Wolf, get came, man. Yes, sir. Thank you. Hey, what just happened?
That, you know, that is COVID-19 on the loose right there. I know. I don't think I've ever been a part of something like that. I don't even know where I am right now. But it was electric. I want to go back in for more.
Well, I wanted him to answer that question, but listen, I want to give a shout out to the It's Complicated channel, man. You guys are really putting in the work. Y'all out here on the streets. Y'all in a woman's face. You love to see it. Y'all asking the hard questions. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I appreciate y'all for what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. You know what I'm saying? The Masculinity Gang appreciates you, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all go subscribe to It's Complicated channel. They're doing great things over there. Shout out to them. Hopefully they get monetized. Probably not, because YouTube don't like that content, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to them. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to join the Masculinity Game. Comment for the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? My link to my Patreon, my PayPal, my Cash App, if you want to support the channel, will be in the description box below. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for all the support. It's been your boy Just Chris, and I'm out this bitch. Peace.